Alright, so it's been a while since I've done one of these tribe tier lists, and that's because the game has been updating a good bit. I should probably have brought up the Puni docs by now, but I didn't, because I didn't really think I needed it, but I probably should, I probably should have. So last time I made this, it was my birthday during this one. So it has been 3 events, and I really am going to change the tier list by quite a good bit. Last time I made a video on a tribe tier list, this is what I got. But last time I actually made a tier list, this is what I got. It also has Wandroid on here, so I'm going to be using this from now on by this person. So I didn't put them in numbered order because I didn't feel like it. And I feel like this is a better representation of how good the tribes are. But because of, I don't know, it's better, we'll do just straight up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, blah, blah, blah. And we'll go ahead and put these two in their respective places because, of course. So we'll keep these two up and go from there. So first off, we'll do the easiest one. Number 1 is Brave. Like, it's very, very simple to realize. They can do like 1.2 million damage in 4 Soultimates. No other tribe does that. Like, Megumin is so insane. So what all has changed since the last time we've done this? Well, we had the Tensura event, which didn't do really anything, in all honesty. Rimuru was good, but we got somebody better. The literal next event. We got Beachside Natsuyomi for Mysterious, who is a start arranged and an inflate 4 that always has her Soultimate. So basically, you link 9 of her Puni, she has her regular Soultimate, and then the large Puni you just linked gets the G Soultimate for her. Crazy. And it also brought Death Jupiter, who I think is on the tough team because he's Limit Break Tenable and has Fever Fill as a tap inflator and does more damage than Future Ren. And then we have the Hololive 3 event, which buffed Mysterious again. They got buffed 3 times in a row. And it also buffed Shady because they finally got a Fast Fever and a new Fever Extender that also can have Fever Fill or deal even more damage. Pretty crazy. Nothing really else happened but like those 3. But I think it's going to be pretty good to fix everything, and I want to actually correct any sort of thing that I think was wrong. So what is the last tribe now? Slippery. Slippery is just the most nothing tribe ever. I might as well go ahead and talk about the optimal teams while I'm here. So obviously you have your EX Popper, UZ Ren, all the way up here. We have Kegare Zuchten, your Fever Extender. We go to Triple Z's. We search for U. We'll find Santa U somewhere, wherever she is. Here, right here? Yeah. So we have Santa U for her Unity. Then we have Mercury Death way over here. He's Limit Break Tenable, so he brings tons of stats. He hits super hard. He's a really good support character. And then you can either bring... can I just look for Awoken? We're looking for low tier Shu. Fine. I'll just look for Shu. Kinjutsu Awoken Shu. Kinjitsu, okay. He's a Unity character. You can bring him. You can bring this Venoct. He's a revive character. Or you can bring Snake Music Venoct, who also is a revive, but can also guard. They're really just a big nothing tribe. Their stats aren't really that impressive compared to everybody else. They're about average. They just don't really do anything special, which isn't good enough anymore. So then we'll get number 2, which I think is Mysterious. If you've seen my Hololive character spotlight video, you'll know that Mysterious can do 1.3 million damage in 6 Soultimates. Which, granted, they're bringing an extra Unity character. So, which Unity character do you bring? Well, it depends. So let's go ahead and go back here. It's by Sallitine, by the way. I always link it in the description now just because it's very useful. So we have Aqua, wherever she is. Right here. With a whole book for a passive kit. Yeah, she's pretty good. Amazing Fever Extender. That buffs everybody's damage even further. Then we have the EX Popper, which I personally like to bring Ichika. I say as if I have her. it doesn't matter if she's a UZ rank or not. Triple Z, they're the same character. One just has a little bit more HP and has a little extra damage. The extra like 20k damage from her is not gonna be a big reason you're gonna lose because everybody else does so much damage that it doesn't even matter. She has pre-fill, easy link, very nice support stuff. EX popper, very useful. Then we go all the way down here to Beach Natsuyomi that I was talking about earlier. Starter ranged, Inflate 4 with Aqua is insanely useful. And then we have the newest member, Okayu, who is a limit break tenable Soultimate filler with Unity and the pre-fill. So you have two support characters, and then you can either bring Arale Naja, who can do friggin' like 250,000 damage, or like it's probably more like 230,000 damage without Kirachara, but she does so much damage, it's insane. As long as you get 10 links, or you can bring Kirachara, who is LB tenable, has Unity, but can also guard, and can do a heal, but you don't really need that. You're bringing Mysterious, so if you need guard, you bring him, but if you don't, bring Arle because she does even more damage. So you don't even need her damage. She does almost the same amount of damage as Aqua. I don't know if she hits harder than Natsuyomi. She might. She probably doesn't hit harder than Okayu. Maybe, I really don't know. I'll have to test that. But yeah, Mysterious is insanely good. I thought they were like the fourth best tribe in the game, but now they're like easily number 2, and there's no question about it. Any sort of argument against it is just wrong. Like that's all I have to say. Sometimes I'll be lenient about which tribe I think is like where there is no contest for number 1 and number 2. I think we'll get the second worst tribe in the game, which I think is Eerie. This isn't to say like Eerie is bad. They're just better slippery. So the best Eerie tribe is UZ Marine, wherever she is, the EX popper. Pre-fill, after-fill, EX popper. That's just what you need. A pre-fill EX popper. Pretty good. Then we have Arachnus, wherever he is. Right here for Unity. I hate his kit. I hate that he has redrop instead of pre-fill. But, I mean, he's brought Unity, so cool enough, I guess. And then we have Jinga right here as the Fever Extender. Then we have Taicho Ray right here. Unity and Fast Fever. And then we have Izana right here. Revive, drop big, inflate 4. Good to help you get other characters that hit harder than him. You really only need to use him once. But like you don't spam his ultimate because he's very weak. He does not hit hard. When you have Jingi, I don't know what his name is. You have this guy. You have Arachnus. Marine probably hits harder. Probably. I don't know. And then you don't really want to use Taicho Ray's ultimate, but you can. Or even is he? How far away was he? He's been here for a while. Oh, whatever. I'm done looking. Yeah, they're just like a better slippery. They just have more stats. I think, probably. They did when I did calculations, I'm pretty sure. Just because they have a whole extra Unity character that Slippery can't really always get away with. And they also have a Revive all of the time, so they're just better. Then, for the third best tribe, I think I want to put Tough, and then we'll put Heartful. The reason I'm putting Tough above them is because both of them are like, they're so ridiculously easy to win with, but Tough is just more beginner friendly. Heartful, you really want to not get hit the first time, but then Tough, you can just bring Gunshin. You can get hit like 3 times, and they'll still probably have enough HP to kill. They're so ridiculous. So that's why I put them higher. Heartful, like, if the enemy just has a nuclear level normal, Heartful is better. But because I'm not really focusing on that, Tough is better just because they're more beginner friendly, and they probably have a higher ceiling, and plus they can bring a guard character if they're that bad. And they also have Gunshin, so they can almost always get into Fever Time with 1 hit taken. Heartful, this isn't saying like Heartful is any worse than it was before. It is still just as broken as when it was first place on the tier list. It's just these 3 tribes have gotten buffs that I think put them even higher of a level. This is still like an S. This is still like a triple S rank on a tier list. I probably should make that as a tier list. We'll update this. So then I want to put the Enma tribe in 5th place here. I'll go ahead and edit the colors, get it more pronounced orange, and then get it, oh, whoops, and then get this, the gray color that I always give it. Enma is just, they're really good. You've already seen my hurtful team, so I'm not gonna bother with that. But I'll go ahead and show you the tough team, which would be, as I've mentioned before, Jupiter Death because he's limit break 10. We have freaking Future Ren wherever he is, right up here. Unity Fever Extender with Fever Fill, really nice. We have Puppet Gunshin, wherever he may be, right here. Unity character, nice. We have Triple OPC. Fine, I guess I can just put PC. He's right here. He's really good. Unity. He's also got Draw Big and Select Popper. So if you're just using Soultimates, you can throw his out for extra damage. He probably does like 150,000, maybe. I really don't know. I don't have his Unity skill, so I can't test it. And then for your EX Popper, you can either bring Gunshin right here, or you can bring Tamonten Ren, wherever he is, way up here, I think. Probably. I don't know where he is. Right here. You can bring this guy. Both of them are fast fevers. This one has fever fill and hits harder, but this one has the easy link, so you can just get into fever time faster more often than not. Doesn't matter which one you bring, they're both insanely good. So that's why I think Tough is up here. Heartful, you've seen me use 1,000 times. Then Enma. The Enma team that I think is probably the best is Oni King Enma, then Jane as your EX Popper. This guy's your Fever Extender with a Revive. Fudo Boy Gold because crit is just pretty good. Then New Year's Kyra way up here. Where is he? Gao Kyra. He has Unity and Fast Fever, which is pretty nice and goes really well with right here. Festival Enma, start battle, stunned. He is also a Soultimate filler. They start the enemy stunned for 10 seconds, so basically they always get into fever time without taking damage. They can crit. They have decent chain ability because Fudo Boy Gold has start arranged. Pretty cool. Yeah. And then which one of these do you think is going to be 6th place? I think it's Shady. I think Shady is better than Charming. And give me a second and I'll tell you why. So the reason that I think Shady is finally better than Charming is because while Charming can start a range like Heartful, they don't hit that hard like as you would think. Compared to Shady, Shady has 2 limit break 10 characters, both of which being UZ ranks. You can also bring Boso Hinozal for even more stats. They always have a revive with Galapion, who's also their Soultimate filler, and then Suisei is a fast fever with a fever extend and basically is her own unity bonus. So she hits as hard as like Itsuki would with Earthwalker NOA, Yami Kenma, and Demon God Nate, which is like 220,000 damage by herself. And she also brings even more HP with it. So they usually just have higher stats than Charming does. Charming can only get away with 2 Unity characters because for the 5th slot, you either have to bring a Revive, which I wouldn't recommend bringing Kokibi, but then they're just like a normal tribe, which is just kind of worse than Eerie, but they can start arranged, but then they don't have the Revive. So their optimal team is Shuka Fez, way up here, their Fever Extender. Then they have the option of a Revive, which you can bring her or Cyber Fubuki. I think Cyber Fubuki's better, but then you have your Unity character here, your EX Popper here. So that's your 4 slots, and then Haibara, way over here. Haibara, right here, Unity Fast Fever. And then you either bring one of the Revive characters, or you bring Halloween Kappa-chan, who lets them start arranged and get into fever time without taking a hit. But because they don't have a Revive and don't really hit that hard, it's not really as crazy as you'd think. And yeah, sure, Red and White Elzamechia hits pretty hard, but then Shuka hits hard, and then She hits hard, but then Aihaibara does not hit very hard, and Kappa-chan definitely doesn't hit hard. And your EX Popper does hit hard, but like compared to Shady with their Limit Break 10 UZ ranks, the Limit Break 10 makes up for the Nyambo multiplier that the other two have. And plus, they also have their Fever Extender hitting for the level of it if she had 3 characters, and they always have Revive. And because Dead Time, I should show off their team. Their team is this guy is the EX Popper, Dead Time as an Easy Link, pre-fill tap inflator. She hits really hard, has a ton of stats, and is just very nice for chaining support. Then Suisei, then you can either bring Hinozal wherever he is. Is this him? No. Hinozal right here. You can bring this guy because he's Limit Break Tenable Unity character, but because he has a drop big and is a Fever Extender that doesn't hit very hard, I wouldn't recommend it. So I would recommend bringing Galapion is always on the team because he is a Unity and Revive character that also fills Salt Mages. So basically, you use Dead Time's Tap Inflate to get this guy's G Soultimate, and then you refresh everyone's Soultimate. And then I would recommend bringing Eddie right here because he guards and has Unity. So because he's not got like these large Puni that are just in the way and can guard potentially, I would recommend bringing him more often. And because they can do that, I think that they're better than Charming. Charming is just like the weirdest tribe ever. They were pretty good when they came out, but then it's just kind of feeling like they're not really like doing anything anymore. It's weird. None of the other tribes really feel like that, but like every time I've used Charming, it's just been awful. Granted, I don't have Red and White Elzamechia, but like still, we don't even want to talk about Charming without Red and White Elzamechia. I think they're way down here. Like they're bad without Red and White Elzamechia. But with her, I think they're about here. So why don't we go ahead and put this, then we'll do this, this. Oh yeah, Shady up here. I think Shady is about as good as Enma is. Then this. There. Yeah, that looks about good. But the weirdest thing is, Erie is like the most consistent tribe for me. Like, I'll go into a throne stage and they'll just like win like first try every time. Like I don't always win with them, but whenever I go to like do a no bonus with them, I just win every time. It's super weird. Same thing with Mysterious. I almost always win like first try. Brave is like they're not always the most consistent, but they can do like some ridiculous shenanigans with Megumin. If you wanted to, you can literally just use your EX Popper, then do a Fever Extend Megumin, and if the boss has like 1.8 million HP, you can just like keep stalling until you get another Fever Extend and then another Megumin. It's crazy. Mysterious, they're insane. Oh, by the way, if you wanted to, if you were just absolutely god awful, Suzaku, if you were absolutely god awful at the game, you can put on this guy on the team who is an EX Popper that can let you deal critical hits and guard instead of your EX Popper. They win in 6 ultimates, and you can make them win in even less with crits. It's insane. Tough, insanely high stats. They're just like, you could hand a baby your phone, and they probably no bonus with Tough. That's how good they are. Heartful, super good if you know what you're doing with them. Enma, probably the most consistent team ever, and they can also crit for some reason. Shady has gotten a massive buff, and I think that they're finally a real tribe and have actually gotten pretty good. Erie, I'm having a real big concern on because they're really good. Like every time I win with them, they just pretty much easily win first try. But like just looking at what they can do, they don't really like seem too impressive. I'm really questioning whether or not I want to swap these two. I really am questioning it. Not Erie, not Slippery. Go down here. I'm really questioning swapping these two. I'll leave it there for now, but you can swap these two. Heck, you can probably swap these 3 all you want. Slippery is by far the worst tribe here. Enma, no one likes Enma, so we can just keep them down here. No one's going to bother about it. Heartful and Tough, I've given my reason why I'm putting Heartful down here, but this isn't saying like, oh, it's so much better. Like these are still insanely good tribes, and these two are just ridiculous. Like the top two and the bottom one, I'm very confident on. You are not going to change my mind right now. Then these two, I'll swap back and forth on as long as you have these two up here. I'm fine. Enma, I don't care, and then these three, you can swap around all you want. For all I care. All right, guys, we're back. We had an event, and oh my god, these kids are like actually insane. Let me go ahead and pull up the event on Mao's docs. Idol Royale. What did they do? Unity, Fever Power, Attack Buff. You probably don't think this is crazy, but I'll explain it. So anyways, why don't we get off with the biggest change? I'm going to put Heartful back above Tough. So the Fever Power is actually quite a bit different from Aqua's. You see, Fever Power is like 3 skills. Instead of the popping a size 8 Puni gives the G-Sult no matter what, Agaha gets Easy Link, which is like the most nothing thing they could have possibly done. Like, I wish they gave her Drop Big or Link Big. The only thing that would have been worse is like Fast Fever, because you're already in Fever time. But if they're gonna give like these like third skills on top of these just in Fever time, it's pretty cool. I like it. Cool design. And a Fever damage boost. It is also a team attack buff like Aqua. I did 300k without her with like Guardian Ren because you can't bring Noelle because obviously Unity. However, with Agaha they did 315,000, so it is a team attack buff. And then the heal, instead of healing 700 HP, they only heal 400 HP, which like hurts free-to-play Heartful teams, but I don't care. Nyanbo Heartful starts in Fever time because they have starter ranged, so cool. It's a little bit more difficult because you can't bring Noelle. Well, you can. You just have to replace Orihime Natsuomi. You bring either one of them, you lose 4% Unity, and like Orihime Natsuomi hits a lot harder. But Noelle is an all-popper bonus ball maker and a second fast Fever, and it works really well with Setsuna. So you take your pick. But anyways, she's also limit break tenable, so she might be able to hit almost 300,000 damage. Maybe, probably not. Probably closer to like 270, 280. People just say that like Aqua can hit 300,000 damage. No, she doesn't. On Mysterious, she hits for 260k. So honestly, Agaha might hit for like 250. Which like UZ ranks with UZ Unity, Triple Z Unity, and Double Z Unity hit for 240k. So hitting for like 250k would be pretty good. So she probably will hit for 240k, which considering they only are bringing 2 Unities now, I'd say that's pretty good. And the Fever Power, on top of her LB10 stats, oh yeah, she's going to hit hard. Also, she's a Fever Extender with pre-fill, so yeah, pretty cool. Next up, we have Komaki Komami, an Inflate 4 with Redrop and Unity. I really wish they would give them anything but Redrop, like seriously. It's so annoying. But anyways, that means that I think Charming is now here. You can make an argument that it's better than Heartful, but you see, the thing is, nobody cares. No one really likes Charming. But what we can talk about is how absolutely insane their stats are. So here, her HP is 1455, and if we scroll really far down, we'll see that we can get, I think it's like 4 limit breaks. Yeah, 4 limit breaks. So that's 120 HP, like around. So we'll pull up the calculator. 1455 plus 120 means she has 1575 HP when you max her LBs that you can normally get. So now we can use the spreadsheet to get the rest of them. So first up, we have Shuka, who can get 1565 HP. 1565. Then we'll go... I should just put these together. Makes it easier. Then we'll get Halloween Fumihime, 1556. 1556 plus. Then we'll do Haibara, who can get 1284. 1284. And then we'll get Red and White Elzamekia, who can get 1575. Weird. 1575. So their base stats are 7,555. Now what we're going to do is pull up a second calculator tab. So they get 20% unity from Ihaibara, and then two 24s from their two new UZ ranks, plus the base 30%, plus the 20% watch. They get 118% unity, effectively. So we add 118%, and they have 16,470 HP. Oh my god. What is this tribe? And by the way, if you get perma bonuses, it's even higher. So, oh my god, Charming is insane. And that also applies to their attack stat. Now, why do I think they're better than Tough? Well, Tough, they're almost the same, except they have an extra 4% unity and an extra 5% from the watch, compared to Tough, which has an LB10 character. So I think Charming is better. However, I still think Heartful is better just because, well, Fever Power is kind of insane, so it kind of makes up for that gap. Like, honestly, you can swap these two for all you want. I might just go back and forth all I want for me. You can put them either way you want. I don't care. Anyways, let's talk about what you've been waiting for. Maximus K. He is an all-popper healer. Instead of healing like 320 HP, he heals 820 HP, which, I mean, still, doing 2 Soultimates doesn't out-heal a counter, but doing 3 Soultimates does. So you basically do 3, get 1 free. Cool. And then using his Soultimate has a chance for his Puni to drop big after you use it. So, kind of okay. And then popping his big Puni increases the team attack. Why am I talking about him? He sounds like he sucks. Well, you see, the thing is, most of the time the team attack is very useless, because if we go to, I don't know, Mercury Asu, who is like the best user of it, and he still sucks. So the thing is, this increasing team attack just absolutely gets killed whenever you do a Soultimate, meaning that you can't really take advantage of his Inflate 4 to get a big attack buff, because, well, you can only get like 2 at most, and it's a chance anyway, so he could end up just not doing anything. And you can't really stack it to buff things all the time, because then once you do your EX popper, the whole thing goes away and you have to start again. However, the difference with Maximus K is that he is brave, meaning that we can take advantage of Megumin. This explosion takes at least like 20 seconds, meaning that you have a ton of time to just work on getting this guy's attack buff. Oh, but wouldn't it be better to, I don't know, bring a Fever Extender? Well, it would be, probably. However, a Fever Extender also is going to cost a counter, meaning that, well, they'll probably do the same amount of damage by taking advantage of this team attack buff for only 1 counter. And then if you want to, you can use this guy as a second Soultimate. And then once you do this round like 3 times, he'll out-heal one of his Soultimates, so you basically just get 1 free. Using his Soultimate heals, then you get Big Puni to pop to get a team attack buff, and then you can just use like Ryu Senin and just keep looping in Fever Time, waiting for Megumin's Soultimate to count down. I've seen a lot of people try to, I'm like, you know that meme where it's this guy, and he's like got a thinking cap on and he's pointing at something, and he's like, this is the coolest thing ever, and it's like the worst thing ever. Yeah, they've said Mysterious is better than Brave, which is better than or equal to Heartful. I've never heard something so stupid in my life. Like, this is why people are not allowed to be free thinkers, because they make terrible decisions like this. You see, the thing with Brave, even if we just ignore this hypothetical team attack team, they have Yami Kenma, Demon God Nate, Megumin, Itsuki, and then like whoever you want as the 5th slot. You can bring another Unity character, you can bring Union for a Peerless, you can bring Yamato for super easy Megumin's Ultimate, which like people insist that you have to bring one of these super easy Soultimate fillers. So if we just look up Yamato, you'll see that he is a pre-fill Soultimate filler. And if we go over here, we'll find a Union Kenma over here, Union Keno, and you'll see that he is a Soultimate filler with Link Big. People absolutely insist that you have to run one of these characters. You have to run these guys. You have to run Yamato. You have to run Obi. You really don't. Like, it's not very difficult to just do a double Fever strategy, get Megumin's Ultimate that first Fever, immediately fire it, and then just kind of like wait around and then get the second fever, and then use your EX popper, fever extender, and then Megumi Soultimate will fire. And then like the team's done like 110 million, and then you can use Yami Kenma to finish him off. People don't realize that. They just see the Mysterious has like pretty decent stats now, and they see that they can also crit, and they start a range, and they're like, oh my god, they're the best ever. There's like no, there is no contesting. And then they all of a sudden they think Heartful does that too. No. Mysterious, if you get absolutely lucky and crit on all 4 Soultimates, we'll just highball and say that Aqua does 300k. She doesn't, but... And that's also assuming you have 3 Unity characters, and at most you can bring 2. So, if you get 3 Aqua Soultimates, she deals 300k, crit 450k. That means in 3 Soultimates, you get 1.35 million. And then if you crit on the EX popper, it's like 1.4 million damage. That's if you crit on every single one of them, which is like the crit thing. It might be like a 40% chance, because at least for Fudo Boy Gold, wherever he may be, if I scroll down, he's right here, I think. Yeah, it's like a 40% chance to deal critical damage. You want to know what Brave can do in 4 Soultimates? 1.4 million. But once you go to like 6 Soultimates, then Megumi can deal like 500,000 damage by herself with a fever extender that does like 200,000 damage at least. And then they're doing like 1 million damage. They could do 1 million damage in 2 Soultimates consistently. Mysterious cannot, even if they do crit. So I've also seen a lot of people saying like Aqua is better than Megumin, because Megumin is just damage, but Aqua does so much more. No duh, the whole selling point of Megumin is damage, and she does so much of it. That's why we say she's the best, because she just nukes the enemy. You don't need all of these other skills. When you kill the enemy in 3 Ultimates, it doesn't matter. Like, people just shouldn't be allowed to think anymore, honestly. So, yeah, this is my new tribe tier list after the updates. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, I guess I'll go now. Bye. Puni community is not allowed to think anymore, I guess.